Welcome to Journey to Joy Live, a podcast to promote wellness, resilience, and inspire joy. Be empowered to balance your mental, physical, financial, aspirational, and social health while providing mental health awareness and breaking down the stigma of mental illness in the Black community. I'm your host, Dr. If Joy, and I'm here to help you transform life's challenges into opportunities for joy. Let's begin the journey together. It's episode 139, Becoming Your Own Safe Space, the science and joy of self-love. I've talked about self-love many times. It's February, Black History Month, also the month of love. And it's always nice to love on others. But I think we love on others enough. And what we don't love on, or who we don't love on enough, is ourselves. And we have a tendency to criticize ourselves a lot, to put ourselves down, to bully ourselves. And so coming at you from a standpoint of science, it actually affects your brain. It actually affects your physical chemistry when you put yourself down, when you don't love yourself. In case you wanted to know that it is important to love yourself, I mean, you are with yourself 24/7, forever, until you're not. And then there's no more life. But while you're in this life, it is important to love yourself, especially if nobody else is going to love yourself. Have you said things like, I'm stupid, I didn't do enough, that was dumb, why did I do that? I'm a failure, I'm not adequate. I know I have told myself those things before. I've even said, I'm an imposter. I don't know what I'm doing. How am I a doctor? Years ago, before medical school, I said I was too stupid and couldn't even get into medical school. Obviously, I'm here now as a physician and a psychiatrist, helping many, many people. But even despite degrees, you can still put yourself down. It's ridiculous. Why put yourself down? It really doesn't matter how successful you are. You still can create a space for yourself that is not safe. You could be loved and still not feel secure with yourself. Many people, they might be in marriages and healthy relationships or have families and children and things like that, but they still aren't secure within themselves. Self-love isn't just this vibe of, oh yes, let's self-love, but it is a nervous system state. It is a state of peace, of being able to be safe with yourself and being able to be quiet with yourself. A lot of people say, oh, when I'm alone in my thoughts, when I'm alone, my thoughts get to me. I get more depressed. I get more anxious. Are you a safe space for yourself? So let's talk about how we can become emotionally safe within our mind. Are you emotionally safe in your mind? Obviously, being your own safe space means your inner voice isn't abusive. I'm stupid. I'm a failure. I'm not enough. Why did you do that? You shouldn't have done that. I'm an idiot. You're an idiot. Depending on how you talk to yourself. Sometimes you talk to yourself as a you as opposed to I. Your mistakes don't spiral into shame. If you make a mistake, you're just like, okay, I can do better. But being your own safe space, your emotions don't scare you. You can sit with your emotions. You can be alone with your emotions and you're okay with it. You give yourself grace. Being your own safe space, you can calm yourself without self-sabotaging. When things happen, when you're triggered, you might throw a pity party and it just spirals all the way down into depression and suicidal thoughts. But when you have a safe space, you allow yourself to be able to calm down and have the coping skills to be able to do so. External reassurance is just temporary regulation. You might have people in your life saying things that are great to you, that's cool, but that doesn't mean you are going to really hear it and permanently remember it and use that. As long as your space, your mind is not a safe space for you, doesn't matter what they say. External validation, external reassurance isn't going to mean a thing. But internal safety, working on your mind and your safe space inside of you, that is sustainable peace. That is how you continue the joy forever and ever, despite what other people are saying. It is great if you have people saying great things about you, but it's also when you don't have a safe space that people say negative things about you that definitely can cause you to spiral. So it works the other way too. If you have a safe space and someone says something negative to you or about you, you're just like, oh, I'm good. I'm okay. So thinking about the science behind self love, self criticism literally activates a threat mode. Think about it. If somebody else is attacking you, you're like, oh, you're threatened. So if you're attacking your own self, you're in threat mode. You shame yourself, you replay the mistakes over and over and over again. You call yourself lazy, you call yourself enough, you call yourself inadequate, you call yourself a failure. What is that doing? That's activating the amygdala. The amygdala is our threat detector in our inner brain that's saying, whoa, there's something going on. I'm fearful. It's a high emotional response. You're obviously increasing cortisol. There goes that stress hormone again. And that fight or flight system. So you're in threat mode, you're in trauma mode, fight or flight. You're either going to continue to fight yourself, you're going to run away from it, run away from those emotions. Your body is literally experiencing your inner voice as a danger. That's what fight or flight is. The stimulus is a danger. Are you a danger to yourself in your mind? Of course, there's a danger to yourself if you're literally suicidal and feeling like you want to hurt yourself or kill yourself. Then there's a danger to yourself because your mind is attacking you and leading you to these stress responses. Unhealthy. Listen to the other podcast where I'm talking about prolonged stress leading to all these things and how it is clearly unhealthy to you. Is your mind unhealthy to you? Is it sabotaging yourself and your body? But self-compassion, self-love activates a safety mode. When you speak to yourself kindly, when you normalize struggle, like, you know what? It's okay to struggle. That's fine. That's normal. When you validate your emotions, yeah, it's okay that I feel this way. Your prefrontal cortex kicks in. That's the regulator. That's the planner, executive functioning. Then you're like, okay, I'm ready to go. You become solution oriented. Okay, this is a normal feeling. What am I going to do? What am I going to do to get out of this? What's the plan? What's my coping skill I'm going to use to make myself feel better? Your parasympathetic nervous system kicks in, which is the opposite of which is the opposite of the fight or flight system. Fight or flight system is a sympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic nervous system is the rest and digest. Which one would you like to be in? Fight or flight or rest and digest? A lot of times when you're in fight or flight, you can't even rest, you can't even digest, can't eat, or you're eating too much and you're definitely constipated and all things are happening in your GI system. So you're activating the prefrontal cortex, you're activating the parasympathetic nervous system and oxytocin release. That's our intimacy hormone. We like the oxytocin release. Being kind to yourself activates the same things that love activates. So if you are someone who is single, alone, you're just like, I'm waiting for love, but you're just downing yourself, become your own safe space first, because it won't matter how much that person loves you as long as you don't love yourself. You cannot heal in a brain that feels attacked. Let your safety replace the stress as opposed to the stress replacing safety. So what can you do? Let's get in and out of here quickly. So change the tone of your inner voice. Stop yelling at yourself. Stop telling yourself you're not good enough. At least for a week, try it out. A lot of people say, I'm not going to try it. It doesn't work. It never works. Well, you got to do it consistently. Catch yourself in real time. When you say things that are bad, when you say, I'm not enough, I'm ugly, I'm never going to do this thing that I need to do. I'm always making mistakes. I'm an idiot. When you say those things, catch it right away and say, would I say this to my child? You're never enough. You're inadequate. You're ugly. You're a failure. You're stupid. Would I say this to someone I love? Usually, if you're a good person, you're not going to say that to someone that you love, right? So why would you say it to yourself? You love yourself. That's what this is all about. If you don't love yourself, you need to work on loving yourself because you see what happens when you don't love yourself. So instead of I'm always messing up things, try, I made a mistake. I can fix it. Be easy on yourself. Self-grace. Reduce that internal threat activation that is happening when you down yourself. So change that inner tone of your voice and commit to it. Regulate your body before solving the problem. When you are in fight or flight mode, you're trying to solve the problem, it ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. You gotta regulate those hormones. You gotta turn down those stress activators that's happening. You gotta turn yourself from that fight or flight into rest and digest because you are not thinking straight. When you're overwhelmed, slow breathing. I like to say I do the box breathing. Breathing in for 4 seconds, holding for 4 seconds. Breathing out for 4 seconds, holding for 4 seconds. Even your hand on your chest for grounding can be good. You can feel your heart slow because we don't want it to be fast. Stepping outside for 3 minutes for fresh air. I love the sun. I love being outside. And when I've been around a computer too long and I get stressed out about something that's happening, I have to get outside and take a physical reset. So at the very least, do the breathing, do the grounding, engage your senses, get outside, change the environment. Your nervous system must feel safe before your brain can even think clearly. And then you can solve the problem. Regulation before resolution. Stop overexposing yourself to what harms you. To the extent that you can control it, right? Ask yourself, who drains me? Who do I maybe not need to spend so much time around? What environments spike my anxiety? What content dysregulates me? Is it something I'm reading? Is it something I'm watching that's dysregulating me? All this self-reflection leads to self-awareness. And when you have a self-reflection and self-awareness, you can lead to the self-compassion and self-love because now you know what the trigger is. Is a trigger a person? Is it an environment? Is it something you're engaging, some type of content? Then just reduce that exposure to the extent that you can. If it's the kids that are draining you, self-care. But boundaries are a form of self-protection. I mean, even you need boundaries when it comes to the children too. Boundaries isn't being selfish, it's being self-protection. This weekend, I literally had 2 people reach out to me who know me personally saying, hey, can you do this for me? Can we talk today? You know, a psychiatric issue. Of course, these are people who have loved ones who are going through mental health crises. And so for me, fortunately, I have inflicted boundaries. And so instead of, oh my God, let me call them right now, because I was on call this weekend. I was in the middle of like literally seeing 12 patients. I was already overwhelmed. But if I didn't have boundaries, I could literally just pick up the phone and call these people and say, okay, what can I do to help? But I'm not getting paid and I'm already burnt out from the job I am getting paid and I'm going to help you. So the way I responded was, here's my website. You can fill out a request for consultation. And had I not had the boundaries or self-love or self-compassion or self-protection, then I would probably feel bad. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't help them right away. I have to have those boundaries. I have to, or else I will overextend myself. Stop overextending yourself to what harms you or to what you shouldn't be overexposing yourself to. Obviously, that wouldn't have, well, I was going to say it wouldn't have hurt me. It would have hurt me if I would have been burnt out and drained by the end of the day and not able to do things for myself or my family. So boundaries are super, super, super important. Practice honest self-acknowledgement. Every night, write down one thing that you handled well today, because self-criticism focuses on what you did bad or what mistake you made or that you didn't do enough of. So what's one thing I handled well today? I had that issue and I solved it. One thing I survived. One thing I'm proud of. So write that down every night. What's one thing I handled well today? One hard thing I survived, and one thing I'm proud of. So this builds those neural pathways around feeling competent and feeling worthy, like I got this. And that self-compassion. Self-love grows through repetition. You can't just do it one time and, oh, it didn't work. Oh, it's enough. I'm good. No. Consistency always builds that joy muscle, that self-love muscle. Stick to it. It takes consistency. And yes, it takes work for your joy. Learn to sit with your emotions instead of fighting them. That's that person who, when they're alone in their thoughts, they get more stressed, they get more emotional, they get more anxious. I understand that that's an issue, but you have to learn how to sit with those emotions. Stop fighting them. Emotional safety doesn't mean constant happiness, constant joy, constant peace. You are going to experience some level of anxiety or nervousness or sadness or stress at some point. You are human. Practice dealing with it. Maybe set a 5-minute timer. Name the feeling. What is it I'm feeling right now? I do that. I feel like, what's going on? Okay, I'm feeling irritable. So that I name the feeling. Notice where it sits in your body. I might say, okay, where's this irritability coming from? Like, oh, I just feel it right here. And just breathe through the irritability. And usually what I do when I'm doing that exercise, I'm just like, okay, what is making me feel irritable? I'm like, oh yeah, that phone call. Okay, that's fine. And I talk myself through like the stimulus that it will work out. So name the feeling, notice where it sits in your body, breathe through it. Try to identify where it comes from and which coping skill is going to help you get through it. Say, this feeling is uncomfortable, but it's not dangerous. It's okay to sit with my feelings. You have to teach your brain that emotions are survivable, that it's not something that you run away from or that you just can't handle. I can handle emotions. You can handle emotions. It's this constant positive thinking. You're already having constant negative thinking. You can talk to yourself and say positive things. So how do I know I'm becoming my own self space? I'm recovering faster from mistakes. I'm not spiraling as long. All the way down. Oh my goodness. I'm apologizing less for existing. Do you apologize for just existing? You rest without guilt. You don't need constant reassurance. That's how you know you are your own safe space. You recover faster from your mistakes. You don't spiral as long. You apologize less for existing. You rest without guilt. You don't need the constant reassurance because you are constantly reassuring yourself. The world may not always feel steady, but you can become your own safe space. And when you and your mind feel safe, joy doesn't feel forced. It feels natural. Thank you. This has been an Enjoy Life production. If you're in a crisis, don't hesitate. Call, text, or chat 988 for immediate support. Please note, this podcast is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional treatment. If you're looking for therapy or medication management through Enjoy Life, visit www.drenjoylife.com to request a consultation. I'm licensed in 13 states. I accept Aetna in Georgia, Florida, and Virginia. Be sure to grab your copy of the Enjoy Note to help you on your wellness journey. Also, check out Inspired Joy for the wife, mom, boss to help you balance it all without losing yourself. Better yet, get the full Joy bundle for just $45. Remember, Journey to Joy Live is every Thursday at 7 p.m. Thank you for joining me, and until next time, may you continue to transform stress into joy.